Gila Nehemia, sacred erotic poet, author, and mystic, your spiritual heart guide, writing empowerment coach, divine feminine healer. I'm so excited to be here today. It is the 27th of August. Wow, so much has happened this week, and I'm sure so much has been happening for you as well. So I can't wait to get started. So let's begin by first closing our eyes. Let's just close our eyes. If you can close your eyes with me, as long as you're not driving and you're in a safe and sacred space. If you haven't already, you might want to light a candle and burn some incense. Pause this to do that, so you really get into that mood of complete surrender and connection into the sacred. So without ado, let's just take 3 deep breaths, deep from your diaphragm all the way up into your highest chakras. You could breathe in from your nose and then breathe out through your mouth. We'll do it 2 more times. You may want to hold it when you breathe in for 3 seconds and then let go. I want to call in our angels, our heart guides, our ancestors, our power animals, God, Source, Universe, Mother Gaia, all the insects and birds to assist us in this session, connecting into liberation and really opening up into interdependence. Feeling into that energy right now. And asking any messages that need to be answered during the session to come through, setting that intention, as well as any questions or thoughts or feelings that need to be released at this time. Thank you. Namaste, Shanti, Shalom. Thank you for being here. This is such an exciting week. Those of you that don't know me, I work with women who have experienced chronic trauma such as domestic abuse, bullying, sexual and child abuse, and PTSD as related to grief. And I've been doing this for the past 4 years, and I've been working on myself and my inner journey for most of my life, primarily through writing, as well as voice and movement, including meditation and breath work. So I'm so glad you're here today. I have a lot of great things to share. This is going to be focusing on liberation and interdependence. And I just wanted to share that I had a beautiful moon circle right here in my neighborhood. I live in Amirim, the northern part of Israel, and we had this circle of 7 people, including myself, so 6 other women. And it was on Wednesday, so it was a few days after the full moon. It was so beautiful. It was really like this opening of all of our hearts together. And as I told the people after we left, and at the end of the session, what made it beautiful was all the people that came. And really nice visualization meditation and really connecting to the things that we were feeling. And I want to say I was really happy to be there and facilitating it, because this is what I dreamed about, having small groups, intimate groups of people together, really connecting from our hearts, sharing, witnessing, hearing, listening to each other, with the energies, and really connecting to our own universal wisdom. And really just, I have to say, like, just watching the people come in, the faces that they had, and how they left, it was completely different. And it was just such a divine experience. So, And what I wanted to share was our dreams do come true. I think that sometimes we feel like we're in a vacuum and things aren't working, and we're just like, sometimes we get upset and we're just like, when, or what does that mean, divine timing, or all these things that, like, the challenges that we face. But when we really allow ourselves to receive and believe that we can have it, and not control, truly surrender to the moment and to our own calling, magic always happens without, it always succeeds. The light always wins. So I just wanted to share that beautiful, beautiful experience I had, and I was really on a high. I couldn't even sleep for many, many hours after that. My mind was just, and my heart was just like this huge opening. And the moon was streaming into my room, even though it wasn't full anymore. So it was so, so strong, this energy. And actually, the day that I gave that, or we facilitated that circle, the moon was in Aries. So it was just a beautiful time to be courageous. And I do have a moon app that I use. It's called Moon Calendar, and I wanted to just see what was happening today. Today is the disseminating phase. And let's see if it's going to tell me. The moon is in Taurus at 2 degrees. And I'll just read it here. The Taurus rules the thyroid gland. So take time to focus on thyroid health. Your thyroid is responsible for regulating hormones, metabolism, heart rate, and much more. So it certainly deserves kindness, healthy eating, avoiding toxins, and getting enough sleep are vital to your thyroid being happy. So there's definitely, so I just wanted to share where the moon is currently. And this moon app is entitled Moon Calendar. So you can find it. I'm on Android, so I'm sure you can find it on both Android and iPhone, or any other operating systems that are out there. So Taurus is actually is it my rising sign? Yeah, it is my rising sign. So that is earth based. So that is, for me, I feel it's about balancing, really, because my moon is in Aries and my sun sign is Sagittarius. So I have some two fire just right there. So my rising really kind of balances it out a bit. So yeah, I just wanted to share that it's just really, really exciting when you see things going your way. And it really was, this session at that time, the focus was on healing the planet and liberation. And today I really want to talk about liberation. By the way, for those of you that attended the full moon meditation on the 22nd, so lots been happening this week, as I said. That was amazing too. That was just this past Sunday on the full moon. So it was my two colleagues, one in New Jersey in the United States and another one in Australia, I believe near Sydney. So we all got together. We had a beautiful, beautiful meditation. It was really, really nice. And we had a number of people come on, and we've had a number of views. So it's been beautiful. And again, it was the healing of the earth, inner balance, liberation, those themes. And we will be offering that every month, not live. It'll be an activation that can be downloaded. So more to come on that as the next full moon comes up. So I'll be putting a link for for the YouTube video right here, so you can see it in the details, so you can access it and listen to it as well. And again, it's timeless. So whenever you hear it, all of those codes are going to be activated within you. We're all quantum healers. We all went through the same program to be certified. So that is an activation as well as a meditation. So that was how I kicked off my week. My week begins on Sunday. So I kicked off my week with this beautiful meditation, and then I had this a wonderful circle on Sunday. And so I really feel like it's about liberation, liberating ourselves from our own, self-sabotage techniques, from our patterns of feeling alone and feeling not heard. And I want to discuss that, because that was a theme that was coming up this week. And like how can all of us as healers, as people on this sacred path, are just really just seeking more, how do we step into that space of allowing ourselves to be heard? It's not like we are being um, we might be feeling like people don't want to hear us, but there are always avenues to speak. So I feel like part of the climate at the moment is separation, putting people into groups and not allowing, like here in Israel, just if as an aside, they are instituting the green passport. So people who are not vaccinated cannot go into certain arenas, and the people who are can. And it's spotty as to the beginning of this mandate. And there's a lot of other things around that. Now, this is not going to be a political discussion at this moment about that situation. I just want to talk about, though, divisiveness and separation. As I have been in all of my other podcasts, it is a recurring theme of mine. Though I do feel there are avenues to speak out about it, and there are ways to continue to share a message of oneness, unity, and liberation. And part of that is to understand that even though we might have different views, we're all, if we decide, we're all moving in the same direction. There may be some that are not in accordance to the light, not moving towards true oneness. And those are beings or people that we may not necessarily agree with. Though I do feel just hearing them out, just acknowledging their existence, that's part of being a person. Like everyone has a right to say what they believe. We don't have to necessarily agree, and we can still respect each other. That's always going to be that's how I really, really feel. And I have to say, sometimes I do feel really upset. I can't even go into the pool in my neighborhood, and I paid for the membership. So, there are things that are bothering me, but I understand this is the government mandate, and it's not necessarily the people who are doing it. They're not necessarily at fault. They're here for other reasons, and there's a much bigger things that are going on in terms of how things operate. I do live in a vacation spot, so there are many people that are coming to these places that don't live here on a year-round basis. So, that being said, just focusing on liberation and really having the right to say what you want, do what you want, in the confines of your own domain, being the queen or king or rulers of your own domain. You get to co-create what you desire in your own space, on your own time, and in your own, both in terms of finances, emotionally, with your health. You do have a say. No one can force you. It's super important to share that. And actually, I wanted to share this as well. It was very emotional for me, because I had listened to what is the name? The movie called I think it's the Chicago Seven, and it was the seven defendants for a trial, if for riots in the 1960s, late 60s, because they were protesting against the Vietnam War, peaceful protests that ended up becoming violent, and it was also the time of the Humphrey campaign, so presidential campaign. So it was just like a very volatile time, and the people that were on trial and the judge that was presiding over that trial, and I saw this on Netflix, so it was just really emotional for me. I felt like this this deep discrimination has been going on for centuries, and this whole theme of freedom struck me. It's just like, this is definitely not something new. This has been going on for centuries, and we're not there yet. Though I do feel like we're at a very momentous and unprecedented time in history, as so many of us are standing up for freedom in our own way. Artistically, it could be just in the form of spiritual meditation, activation, healings, and it's liberation within. I really felt like I've been studying history for for obviously I've been a student and for a long time, and I used to also protest against certain causes and things, but I didn't always bring it home with me. It was like something I did outside, and then I had my own life, and I feel like it's the embodiment of liberation that we're talking about here, or that I'm speaking about. How do we embody liberation? How do we continue to stand in our power? Whether we're alone or with a group, like this is what we're about. Like this is who I am, regardless even of my name. I am this being. I desire these things, and this is my purpose in life. I can sit alone under a tree, wherever I am. I can, I can decide what I'm doing within the confines of my own energy, and it has nothing to do with anybody or anything else. And when I have that true connection to the divine, I know that I am limitless being with divine power, because I do feel that all of us have this divinity within us. So, with that, I wanted to share that this is the premise that I'm working with. So with that premise, I get to do whatever I desire, and in whichever way I want to. And if I want to be in the public sphere, I can. If I want to be in a private sphere, and I feel like the important piece that I wanted to share is that if you're feeling like you want to be liberated from your own cages of your own mind, or your own emotional landscape, first it begins within you. The universe is within. The kingdom of heaven is within. And when you can start there, then you can begin to move outside. When we first focus inwards, the truth that we're looking for is within. I found this Rumi quote that I wanted to share with you. It says, "What you seek is seeking you. The true reality is right in front of you, though hidden. You need only to turn on the light of awareness, banish the illusions, and find peace in wisdom." Rumi. And that is beautiful to me. This is another one. "Yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I'm changing myself." Which is exactly what I just said, and that was me. Literally, I wanted to change the world. I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to teach people about Asian history, because I felt like in the United States that we were not geographically aware. And as I grew older, or right now, I'm more focused on changing myself. Where are the barriers within me that are stopping me from really having the true beautiful experience I desire, or my soul desires? So in this case, the I is not the ego, the I is the soul. What is my soul desiring to experience on this human plane, as on this earthly spiritual being in this earthly experience? It's a completely different scenario, because I don't have any confines of my current environment. Even if, like, let's just say a person who you love is not next to you, it doesn't mean you don't love them. It doesn't mean that they're not in your life, and they may even not be physically here on this earth, people that have passed on, but you still love them. They're still a part of your life, and there's always that connection. They come in dreams, they come in images, they come in signs, and whatever you're desiring is meant for your experience. And when you truly believe that, then you allow that into your life. And even that in of itself, even just that thought, is a liberating thought, that you're not confined to what is happening in the here and now, and also being grateful for what is happening. So there's that. It's always this, like, as you're grateful for what's happening right now, more is coming to you. As you believe and have faith that whatever your desire is meant for you and is going to happen in your life, the more that you're going to see it happen. So do you understand? It's just like this constant way of thinking that changes your frequency, opens your heart, and allows more into your life. Like you may be in a challenging position right now financially, but if you believe that that can change in a dime, in a moment, in a second, as you change your thoughts, then you're no longer confined to a specific thought pattern, and you liberate yourself from the thought pattern. You liberate yourself from being stuck in a loop or in a matrix that is no longer working for you, and you allow yourself to create a new paradigm. So this is a form of liberation is not being taken, opening the key out of the jail. Liberation begins within. So when we can begin to liberate ourselves, that we can have everything, that we can experience everything, that it's our birthright to have it, then the doors begin to open, and I've seen it in so many different ways this week. It's just been like, whoa, like an overwhelm, right? It's just been this like this outpouring of blessings. Um, and I just wanted to share that. And I also feel that, now more than ever, we're doing this together. Like my friends and I are doing this group meditation that's ongoing. And I just opened up, as I said last week, I'll be posting in the link, in the details as well, the link for my technology class. It's really focusing on opening your voice and expanding your reach by letting go of limiting thoughts about technology, allowing yourself to find answers, and sharing your own wisdom by empowering you through some of my experiences and my knowledge and skills, as well as tapping into your own universal wisdom with regard to technology. So that's happening late September. I have 2 groups opening of 5 people each, and you can find out more in the link. And it's just, I'm really, really excited about this because it's an intimate setting. You're going to get your answers. You're going to have answers to your questions. It's about 90 minutes for 4 Zoom sessions, and then you get 2 individual sessions with me as well for $333, and then or you can have a payment plan. So I'm just super excited about that new program happening. And I feel like, this is all part of our wholeness. This is a part of me that I lived for many, many years, like 15, maybe 20 years. I was in technology, and that was just a part of my life. And then I was starting on the spiritual path. And at the beginning, there were like 2 extremes, and the two twain shall never meet, until I realized, really accepting my wholeness is all about stepping into all of these parts of ourselves, because many people I've met, they're healers, they do meditation, they do all this amazing stuff, but the technology sometimes creeps up, and they're just like, wait, what do I do? They're not sure how. And so I just wanted to offer a space where I could be of service to, to small groups where we're actually intimately together, because that's where I work best, and to share information so that you can get your answers solved, as well as give you some how-tos. I was a teacher, so I know how to create a lot of like videos and handouts to help you so that you can get started on your own. So those are the things that were happening this week that I'm just all excited about. And I also just wanted to share, all of this is part of liberating ourselves, doing what we love, sharing our messages wide and expanding them, so because our gifts are so essential for humanity. They're essential for each other. And when we work together in teams, in groups, for short periods, long periods, whatever resonates, we are opening up portals for ourselves and others. So if you're feeling the call to step in right now, and you're having a challenge with technology, or you just need some help for accountability and support, you may want to look at this program. I have a number of different programs, but this is the time. The time is now. And I read this in the meditation, the group meditation, that the time is now. This is the new poem that I wrote, and it's so true. It's like the more that we let go, and the more that we really step in, things just shift. So if you're interested in hearing that poem, definitely listen to the meditation. I read it, and I'm just going to read this one. I may have read this one before, but I'd like to read this one again. It's called Freedom. And and it's in my book, Surreal Love, Kundalini Awakening Poetry. I broke free from the mental chatter, the hoary halls that held me back, severed the cords from past stories that had no end, led through the darkness and the pitch black night, initiated by the phases of the moon, twisted and wrung out into the interminable depths of the ocean, thrown and cast out by the tumultuous waves, surrendered my body to the calling of the divine, my naked arms and legs open to the full unfolding, trusted only in the radiant love in my fragile heart, permitted the peaceful stillness to awaken my soul to the place where I felt so alive with you, an unknown location that nobody can find, where only your heart and mine knew the way. As the tears rolled down from my eyes, I realized that our new story arrived, one that claimed the stardust in my eyes and the glitter in my hair. The cool wind shifted, awakening my spirit, sang softly through the trees, beckoned me to replenish my chi. Sheltered by the pine in an eternal hug, gracefully imbibed the breath of celestial truths. Our souls grounded in Gaia, connected to the sky. Like swans, we flew courageously home with the angels once again. This is a beautiful poem. I love this one. And I love that I connected to souls. And I also feel that, you know, this love within is really allowing us to up level our vibration by opening up into this love, this freedom to love, this freedom to love ourselves unconditionally, the freedom to be safe. Those of you who may be struggling financially, I was too for a very long time, until I felt safe in my own body, working on the root chakra, Mula Bandh, really working on that chakra, allowing yourself to feel safe, having lots of relationships where you didn't feel safe, like I did. Why do I work on this in this area of trauma? Because I felt so unsafe for so long. It was scary to actually be successful because I wasn't feeling safe. And I didn't love myself enough to really allow myself to receive love, to even feel safe. They're both connected, and they're connected to relationships. So again, this is both actually in the sacral chakra, the root and sacral chakra, but money and love are in the sacral chakra. So the more that you allow yourself to release any fear and pain and work on that womb space, or just the sacral area for whichever gender you associate yourself with, allowing it to soften, to relax, to send your love there, emotionally, mentally, really just opening up to that space is super important to allow yourself to be liberated and open up to full abundance. Because I feel like that's what has been a big shift. I've been working on this area all of these 4 years, and honestly, I really finally feel safe to really be in that. I am offering also quantum healing one-time sessions. I do one on the womb space, and I also do a timeline repair. So I just offered all of these things starting this week, which is why I'm mentioning it. You can find everything on my website. I just recommend, there are a lot of free meditations as well that could be very helpful to begin this process. And it's really about believing it and really feeling that safety with the divine. And I can't stress that, more than I've already said. But really, I feel like I finally found my connection to the divine and that safety in the divine. That oneness with God and the love of God that really allowed me to say, okay, I'm willing to take that leap of changing my patterns mentally, emotionally, physically, habits, to allow more in, to be open to receiving, to giving myself permission to be liberated. And as I'm liberated, I liberate others and the planet from a continual cycle of destruction. And that sounds heavy and intense, but that's exactly what it is. And even if it's in your small world, and I say small because, like, we're limited to what we can see physically, and, but you're not small at all. You're actually very, very powerful. And the more that you step into that power and reclaim that power, that shifts the vibration of the planet, even if it's, in degrees. That is shifting the entire planet. So this is the time, again, is now for you to step in. I can't stress it enough. Everyone's here. We've been working towards this moment in time to just liberate ourselves, and this is a moment. This is the beginning of everything. So there's like this Rumi card that I know Alana Fairchild has, and she's like, from going from nothing to everything. Somebody took that, chose that card for me once, and it has stuck in my head, and it's true. When we feel like we have nothing. I felt like many times in my life, especially this, about a year and a half ago, I really was so spent. I felt like really just like, all I had was lying on the ground. And now it's like everything, everything pouring down, and it just feels wonderful. And a part of that is just allowing myself to think in a different way and truly believe it. Truly believe that that is possible for myself, my life, for you, for everyone on the planet, and allowing that in, opening up those codes within me, within you, within the planet, so that, and the galaxies and beyond, so that we can live a different life, so we don't have to continue to recycle these patterns of discrimination and abuse and all of those things that we've all been through, these challenges. We don't want that anymore. We're done with that. We've cut those cords. So it's time to step into liberation. It's time to hold hands together, interlock our fingers and our hearts, to work together to open up, the humanity and the earth to full liberation, full healing, full wholeness and sovereignty of our lives, our beings. I read somewhere, the new earth, there is no separation, there are no passports, there are no doors that are closed. Everything's open. And I truly believe that. Like, that's where we're going, and we are the way showers. We are the people that are doing it. It begins within. So I am just respecting you. I'm honoring you. I'm seeing you. I'm hearing you. I'm feeling you. And I may or may not have a direct relationship with you. I may or may not know your name, though. Just knowing that you're listening and trusting that it's going to be, this message is going to be sent to the right people. I have that faith. I have that full surrender and trust in the divine, that this is going where it needs to go, and I know that that is you. So I just want to thank you for being here today. I want to wish you a beautiful, beautiful Friday, a wonderful weekend. I'm asking you and inviting you into deep, deep self-care, really connecting to yourself, giving yourself time to really, be who you want to be, and decide what that is, and let go of any kind of repeated cycles, because this is really, we're ending cycles right here. A huge cycle ended with that full moon, and as we're moving into the new moon on September around the 7th time, 6 7. So I will be back next week, and I'm just so happy that we're on this path together, and so happy to be alive. And so just sending you so much love and light from my heart to yours. Just want to close this space, and we'll just take 3 deep breaths with this beautiful, beautiful feeling of love. Thank you, God, universe, source. Thank you, our angels, for guiding us in this beautiful space. Thank you, our spirit animals, our ancestors. Thank you for listening. thanking your hearts to connect with mine. Feeling so, so loved and blessed on this special, special Friday. Sending you so much love and light. Namaste, Shanti, Shalom. Happy, happy Friday.